Oh, hi, you guys. Sorry for the slight delay in doing this. It just occurred to me today that I actually had a few super chats left over from the Ask the Drinker stream that I did a few days ago. I just hadn't got around to doing them until now. Blame it on the shots I did that night, I guess. It was a lot of fun, actually. I enjoyed the Ask the Drinker streams. It's good just to hang with you guys and just let you guys dictate the conversation. But yeah, the result is loads of super chats come in, which is a very good problem to have. But I wasn't able to get through all of them on the night, so I made a list of them here, the ones that I missed and hadn't had a chance to answer. So I'm just going to dive right in now and see if I can do them for you guys. So the first one I've got on the list here is Tommy, who's asking me Stuckman's Shelby Oaks versus yours. So I assume you mean like Rogue Elements in that case. I think I guess, because I haven't seen Stuckman's movie yet, but I would assume his would be better than Rogue Elements was. I mean, ultimately, Rogue Elements was a short film that was kind of our first attempt at doing something like this. Shelby Oaks is a theatrical movie with like 10 times the budget. So I would imagine it's a bit better structured and it's a bit more polished. And I hope it does well. Comparing that to, say, Trial by Fire, which we've just finished shooting, I don't know. That might be a more interesting comparison because I think that's going to turn out pretty damn good. But we will wait and see. Yeah, it's definitely. I want to kind of move, sort of. I want to move up, I suppose, in terms of what I'm producing. You know, I don't want to just make the occasional short film. It would be nice to take it to the next level now that we've done a few of these and we've had practice at it. Hopefully they're going to turn out well and we can demonstrate a bit of a learning curve with what we're producing. Then try and produce either a mini series or like some kind of feature length movie next. But we'll see how it goes. I've enjoyed what we've done so far, so I'll let you guys be the judges ultimately. Kevlar says, Bump for Serenity, watch it, Inquiring Minds. Hey, I mean, if you're telling me to watch it, I already have. Muller and I did a full watch through of it. We gave our thoughts as we did it, much like we did with all the Firefly stuff. And it's a great movie, really good sci-fi action. And although I would have loved to have seen many more seasons of Firefly, it was nice that we at least got that movie to round things out. So it was good stuff. Cohen Tier says, hey Drinker, what do you think of Lost in Translation? Always love Bill Murray's acting in this one. Yeah, it's a really charming movie. I think age gaps aside and all that, it's a nice sort of sweet relationship that they have together. Obviously, two completely different people finding each other in the chaos and the madness that is Japan. Bill Murray, yeah, probably one of the, when I think about everything he's done since then, might be one of the last really good performances of his career because I can't think of much else where he actually seemed to care. Lost in Translation, he really seemed to be going for it, and he can demonstrate like really good, dramatic chops when he wants to. I know it's not like a movie that's filled with big punchy dramatic moments, but there's an undertone of seriousness to his character and what he's going through. So yeah, it's a good movie, and honestly, it's the film that really put Scarlett Johansson on the map. So we should thank it for that too. Giovanni Garcia says, Drinker, what would you say are some of your strengths and weaknesses when writing a story? Well, I mean, it's difficult to critique myself because the temptation is to say, well, I'm superb at everything, don't you know? I think if I tried to look at it objectively, I'm probably okay at writing dialogue. I feel like I can produce dialogue that's fairly, human sounding. I think that it sounds like a low bar, but you'd be surprised how many books you read where characters are just mouthing off and saying things that no human would ever actually utter because it's so cringy or it's so convoluted or whatever. So I feel like I've got a reasonably good sense of that, and I think I've got a good sense of character as well. Certainly what I wanted to do with my own books, I was writing in the action thriller genre, which is not the sort of thing you typically associate with strong character work. It's much more about the storylines, the intrigue, the twists and turns of the plot and stuff. But what I tried to bring to it was like an element of humanity in characters that you can get behind, and a bit more complexity to their personalities and their motivations for doing things. And it's the thing that drives me as a storyteller. it's less about the environment, it's less about the setting for the story, and it's more about the people that are actually involved in it. That's what I find personally interesting, and particularly having a big cast of characters that I can mix and match and sometimes put together characters who you wouldn't normally associate with each other, but they're forced to interact, that sort of thing, and how they spark off each other. That's the sort of thing that I've always found interesting as a writer. So I guess those are the things that I do quite well. In terms of weaknesses, I'm not very good at being concise, that's for sure, as you probably guessed from me answering this question. Yeah, when I'm writing thrillers, like my books can end up being like 500 pages long, which is kind of crazy long for a thriller like that. They're normally meant to be around between 300 and 400. So I go over the score there, but a lot of it is because I'm putting that bit of extra time and development into the characters, and it takes extra time in order to flesh it out. But for me, it's a sacrifice worth making, but it does result in quite chunky books, you know. I also don't have the poetic prose that some authors have. They can use like extremely flowery, gorgeous language, the very big, elaborate descriptions of things. Not really in my wheelhouse. It tends to the writing style that I use is a little bit more utilitarian. I try to put descriptions in there when I can that are a bit more complex or a little bit more, creative with it, but it's not necessarily something I'm great at. So blame that on my Scottish upbringing and my lack of vocabulary, I guess. Yeah. Rhonda PG says, question for you. Which video game cancellations shocked you? How are Smokey and Lara, the doggos, doing? The doggos are doing just great. I'll answer the last part first. I got one in my room right now, actually. Smokey. You coming over here? Apparently he's not. You could probably just see his foot right there. Just behind the chair. He's not dead. And yeah, both of the doggos are doing great. They are lazy greyhounds and they're very much enjoying their retirement at the moment. Yeah, you will see them in the background sometimes on live streams, especially open bar. Like Lara especially tends to come in here in the evening and just plonk herself down on the floor and that's it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they need their own screen again. I used to do that sometimes where I had a webcam just pointed at them and you could watch them sleeping. They're still not the worst guests I've ever had on the bar either. So what can I say? Video game cancellations that shock me. I'm trying to think of video games that got cancelled, really. Yeah, I can't think of ones that like never even made it to fruition. Yeah. Nothing's coming to me off the top of my head, unfortunately. There probably is ones out there that I've just completely forgotten about, but yeah, there's nothing I can really think of there. Yeah, Saint CP, thoughts on the development of Zach Kreger's Resident Evil film? I mean, I've got a bit of faith in him as a director. He's not exactly saying great things that's building up my trust. He's talking about how this isn't going to have traditional Resident Evil characters in it. He's not going to be shackled to the stories of the games. And I just thought, damn, man, you're just making the same mistakes that every other director's made when they've tried to do a Resident Evil adaptation. You're just doing it with a bit more style. I mean, I really do hope that it's good. I'm pulling for him on this one, but man, my expectations are tempered right now with abject fear. How many times do we have to go through it, man? How many times do we have to be disappointed by these Resident Evil adaptations? Kevin O'Neill says, movie recommendation, Troll Hunter, a 2010 Norwegian documentary style flick about, you guessed it, troll hunting. Good stuff. Is that when the trolls are like gigantic? I mean, like the size of mountains and you just see them like appearing over the horizon. It could be that one that I'm thinking of. It looked pretty cool in the trailers. Like, yeah, I'm always kind of intrigued by stuff like that. Never got around to watching it yet. Kronak says, Alien Earth always bothered me. Boy Genius acted like Cusco. Writers thought eccentric means smart, but they were very wrong. Yeah. He was trying so hard to be the eccentric genius, but they missed out the genius part, and he's just kind of retarded. And it's proof positive, as I've said before. A character's only as smart as the writer. And in this case, not very, as the case may be. It's one thing to say, well, he's arrogant and he's overconfident and stuff, but no, he just makes decisions that are just flat out inconceivable. that make no sense. And so there's no defending that. It's just a show written by retards, probably for retards as well. Terrence Sheehan gave me $50 US, so thank you, my friend. He didn't actually put a comment there, but I appreciate it anyway. Glitterstorm Apocalypse says, I'd love to see another EFAP Mystery Science Theater 3000 style stream of you and others watching a movie. Oh, you'll get it. You'll absolutely get it. We haven't done any for a while because Mahler is working flat out to get his current video finished. When you see it, you will understand why he's been so quiet over the past year or so. This is a monster of a video, and it's probably going to justify the long wait time. But it does mean like he doesn't really have time for doing like frivolous stuff like that. He's got his commitments to Open Bar and EFAP, that sort of thing. But beyond that, he's just putting as much spare time as he can into finishing this video, and I totally understand. But once that's out the way, he'll have more time and we'll get into doing more stuff. Keaton Kitsune says, are you going to do another gaming stream sometime? Can it be Ocarina of Time if you do? I'll absolutely be doing more, yeah. Obviously, I've been quiet on that front for the past couple of weeks. I was away in Canada for a week while we were filming Trial by Fire, so obviously I couldn't do anything then. And since I've gotten back, I've been playing catch-up with my various other commitments, Open Bar, like getting the regular videos out on the main channel, and I just haven't had quite enough time to get back into gaming. And maybe like I've just been a bit distracted with all that other stuff. So we are in spooky season, and it's this time of year when like the nights are drawing in a bit, and it's getting colder during the day, all that sort of thing. There's less reason to be outside. I do tend to find myself playing video games more. So look forward to more streams there. They will happen. Don't worry. Yeah, Superfly says, I enjoyed your Saints and Sinners story. Oh, good. I'm glad, man. Hopefully a lot of other people do as well. Hopefully they understand what I was doing with it and what it all means. Yeah, we will see. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. It was a lot of fun to read. To write. And when it got delivered, they sent me a big box of like, various versions of the Saints and Sinners anthology, including really nice hardback ones. It was nice to finally sit down and read the thing just as a reader instead of the author who was like sense checking it and stuff. So that was really cool, and I liked pretty much all the other stories as well, which is also neat. Greystone Author says, "Hey, have you seen The House That Dripped Blood?" I haven't. No, I've heard about it. It's kind of infamous, but I've never seen it yet, I'm afraid. Weakest Link, any thoughts on Deadwood? We'd love a review. So I never watched Deadwood all the way through. I just dipped in it, like in and out of the thing. Ian McShane, I remember him being totally awesome in it. Timothy Olyphant as well, who I really like as an actor. He was pretty cool in that. It was just, it was a nice, gritty TV show set in the Wild West. There was a lot of swearing in it. I seem to recall there was a lot of nudity as well. I could be wrong on that one. But yeah, I enjoyed Deadwood, but I'd probably have to, rewatch the entirety of it to give you a proper review. But from what I recall, it was good fun. Silent Evil, will you return to Silent Hill movie in January? I might indeed. Yeah, I'd be tempted. Chuck Sneedman, how about you get off your ass and watch Rome? But I have to sit on my ass in order to watch it, don't you know? Again, it's just one of them TV shows, man. I have got a million things to watch that people want me to review. I just can't do all of it at once. I wish I could. The Greatest Slow Man says, have you seen Endgame Battle of the Multiverse on McSuperfly's channel? 30 minutes of editing, and a glimpse of what Avengers Doomsday might be like if they go overboard with cameos. We'd love to see you and panel react. I think I've heard about this. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I love the concept behind it. Yeah, I should take a look. The Batman guy says, do you think Amazon will do God of War right? Nope. This is the company that's erased the guns from James Bond's hands for the posters of all the old movies. So I've got no faith in their ability to do God of War. No way. Sleepy Chihuahua says, I wanted to make you aware that Reaper, Little Pat, and Jedi Brooks credit their YouTube popularity to you and Open Bar. I love that you helped so many others. Oh, that's nice of them. Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, man, I've always, as much as I can, been about helping smaller channels get that little, leg up and give them a shot, give them a bit more exposure. And in some cases, it really helps, man. And, a lot of them can take off and have, pretty successful YouTube careers. And I think it's just it's like the decent thing to do, I guess, because there's a lot of channels out there that don't get discovered and never really get a chance to spread their wings and show people what they can do. But they are producing really good content. They just needs a little bit of momentum, and if I can provide that, then great. So Crimson says, favorite action girl for each decade: 1980s Ripley, 1990s Sarah Connor for T2, 2000s The Bride for Kill Bill, 2010s Lorraine Broughton from Atomic Blonde, and 2020s ... Yeah, there ain't much to work from here in the 2020s, man. It's been a bad time, and it's ironic, really, isn't it? We've got more female action stars and superheroes and stuff than we've ever had before, but the quality is just way worse than it's ever been. You know, it's an interesting situation we find ourselves in. But hey, yeah, you can always look back to previous decades and say we got it right back in the day, and maybe writers today could learn a few things from these, you know, previous generations of action stars. Scott J says, first super chat ever on any platform. Awesome, man. Thank you. Drinker, found your channel a couple of months ago and enjoy it. Have any actors reached out to you because they were upset with your comments, or any say thank you? So I think, all right, how do I put this diplomatically? One person reached out to me, right? I think who was connected to Rings of Power. They never identified themselves properly, so I don't know who they were, but they basically came in hard saying, you know, I and lots of other people, you know, we worked really hard on it, blah, blah, blah. And like, you made me doubt my acting and basically all the usual stuff. Like, you made me feel bad about myself. And I was like, well, what do you want me to say, man? Like, if I'm a movie critic, it's my job to criticize things. And if I think an actor did a really shit job with their acting, I'll say it. It's nothing personal. That's just the nature of what I do. So that, I think, was the only one. And who am I to say if it was even legit? It could have just been someone trolling. Like, you never really know. The majority of the contacts I've had from people have been the positive kind. A lot of which I'm not really able to talk about, like, for obvious reasons, because they would rather people... It's that kind of Hollywood environment, isn't it? Like, they don't want their friends or, you know, the powers that be in Hollywood to know that they've interacted with me. And it's the standard, like, hey, I really like what you're doing, and I totally agree with a lot of it, but I can't say it publicly because I would get... my career would be down the pan. And that's fair enough. I totally get it. But I've had really good conversations with a lot of people, and it's... what I take away from it is there is a lot of people, even within the industry, who agree, not just with me, because I'm not that special, but like with the general consensus of the points that I make and the criticisms that I've had on this channel, what other people like Gary and stuff have also said about modern movies, modern TV shows, like whether it's the injection of politics or the decline in writing quality, all that sort of thing. A lot of people within the industry are very aware of it and they agree. They just don't know how to fix it because they're not in that high up position. But it is what it is. I do always appreciate when people like that reach out, though, because it's nice to know. And yeah, you'd be surprised you'd be surprised at some of the names of people that watch my stuff. You know, I know that seems like a total humble brag or whatever, and I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to get the point across that, yeah, it's not all bad, and it's not all activists and lunatics within Hollywood. There are a lot of good people there who just are a bit trapped. Fluffy Others, great name. Favorite movie you know is kind of bad, but you love anyway. Mystery Men for me. I'd say Crank, but I'll always defend it. It knew exactly what it was. It absolutely did, yeah. I think most of Michael Bay's work I would probably see as like my guilty pleasure. You know, things like Armageddon, I've said quite a few times. I love watching that movie. It's dumb as fuck. I don't care. It's just a big burly epic action disaster movie, and it's a lot of fun. You know, so stuff like that I'm fine with. I really am. Particularly when movies like that know what they are. They know their audience and they know who they're catering to, and they don't have pretensions of being some big intellectual exercise because they know they're not. That's okay. You can enjoy it on its own terms. Reno the Turk. In the future, when we're old, who will play Brendan Gleeson in his biopic and nail the Joker 2 scene? Gosling, Chalamet, Cavill? I don't know. They'll just they'll have an AI version at that point so that they can redo it. I think it'll be fine. Andrew Loudon, thanks for the oh man, oh god inserts. My wife loses it every time. It's now quoted regularly. R.I.P. Ryan O'Neill. Indeed, yeah. He gave us that moment in cinema that will just live on forever. And I believe it's from the movie Tough Guys Don't Dance. Apparently, he hated the film as well because of that scene. It's just amazing. It's played so serious as well. It goes on for ages as well. Like I cut it down massively because you have to avoid copyright. But he keeps saying that same line about, I don't know, 8 or 9 times, and then the camera starts spinning around like he's having a fucking fit or something. Weird stuff, but wow. I'd love to have been on set that day. Another Spider-Man says, the best Daredevil season in your opinion? It's probably going to be season 1, I think. Fisk was absolutely amazing in that. It was such a great introduction to the world of Daredevil. Just brutal, gritty, uncompromising. I think in the later seasons, they start to get into things like the Hand and all the like mystical space ninja bullshit. And, there's a lot more supernatural elements to it, which I didn't need. I kind of like Daredevil as a more grounded superhero. So yeah, probably season 1 would be my favorite. Thomas Paulin Stavik says, do you have any good tips for marketing your short film when you don't have 2 million subscribers? I wish I did, mate. I honestly wish I did, but I'm in that very weird, fortunate position where I've got a big platform to market it to people. And the thing is, for me, I wouldn't even been able to make my short films if I didn't have the 2 million subscribers in the first place, because that's how we were able to crowdfund it, Beyond that, I don't know how, short filmmakers try and get some attention for it. I guess submit it for local film festivals and stuff just to try and get some critical eyes on it. You might then get some coverage from local film critics, that sort of thing, and maybe that raises the profile of it. But that's all I can think to suggest for you at the moment, man. It's not an easy thing when you're just really starting out. What's the next one? Hoity Von Toity says, Drinker, did you watch the new season of South Park? And if yes, what are your thoughts? I'm personally appalled at how bad it is. No, guys like Mauler just completely put me off it. Gary as well. And I just thought, nah, I'm not even that big of a South Park guy that I would devote that much time to it. So I just thought, nah, if the quality's dipped that badly and it's all just pandering and low quality writing and stuff, I'm just not going to bother. It's not worth my time. But yeah, I think that was the last one there, actually. I know this is a super short catch-up stream, but I obviously got through most of the super chats on the night, and there was just a few left over, but I didn't want to leave them because you guys were generous enough to send me all this stuff, so very much appreciate it. And yeah, man, thank you for making the Ask the Drinker stream so goddamn special. That's why I enjoy it so much. Yeah, I guess the next time you see me will be on Open Bar in the next few days. But there will be more Ask the Drinker streams soon, so look forward to that. But in the meantime, that's all I've got for today. So go away now.